Nigeria, and welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon Enemchuku, the host for the show. Joining me live in the studio, I have with me my co-host in person of Ifoma Odi. Good evening, how are you?
Good evening, Sharon.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right, and we also have joining us live in the studio, Mr. Oguchuku Afuba. Good evening, how are you doing?
Good evening, I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I can see that you're all smiles this evening.
Yes.
All right, so tonight we're taking on three major conversations shaping national discourse. First, Senator Aliu Wamako warns that VIPs could become soft targets if police protection is withdrawn. We look at what this means for national security and for ordinary citizens who have long demanded a fairer distribution of police resources. Next, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, invites senators to a private dinner. Now, with the economic pressure and public frustration still high, we ask what the political and social implication of this kind of gathering means. And finally, the rescue of the abducted Kebbi schoolgirls continues to stir debate. A former Joint Task Force commander says saving lives must come before pursuing kidnappers. We examine whether this approach strengthens or weakens the fight against banditry. But I would like us to first start with the special invitation to the senators from the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Let's take a look at that video from the Senate House, and then we'll return to the studio for a full conversation.
Tinubu, CON, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So this is like an invitation by the mother to the children on a Friday. So I wish you sumptuous meal and fruitful discussion. Senator Wamako, you are looking at me as if you are going to travel, don't you? This is very important. So we all meet there on Friday. Correspondence from the villa. This Military Territory Committee, why the Senior Senator Ositangu becomes.
So we just heard from the Senate President, Senator Akpabio, and according to him, this is compared to an invitation from a mother to her children, and it's happening, it's supposed to happen this Friday. They're invited to Aso Rock for a sumptuous dinner. First of all, let me get your take, Mr. Ugochukwu, because we know Nigerians have come out to say a whole lot with what is going on, the abductions going on right now with the situation of things now, and a special dinner invitation. What's your take on it, Ugo?
Well, first of all, I think they're trying not to make it be big. In fact, it should not be a dinner. It should be called a banquet, what it is. Because imagine a long table of 109 senators in it.
Yes.
You know, senators are not ordinary people. Senators are legislative members who are lawmakers in our country. So the cost of organizing a dinner, or rather what it is, a banquet, for 109 of them, you can imagine that would be. I do not have any problem with ceremonies like this. It comes with holding public office, but then we need to look at the time it is coming out. Just over the past 2 weeks, we've had a series of insecurity crises in Nigeria, and just at the heat of it, even when it's becoming more controversial, the First Lady, instead of encouraging Nigerians to remain hopeful in the administration of her husband, she is rather organizing a banquet. That's what I call it, because that is what it is for 109 senators. And this kind of, I'm trying to make you understand, this kind of event is something that you don't go alone, you have a +1 with you. So when you do 109 times 2, that would be over 200 persons attending this, and you know, each of these senators as well will come with their their people as well. In fact,
aides.
logistics alone costs so much. You know, sometimes we do not audit some of these things by ourselves. These public office holders, they spend a lot of money on unnecessary things, and it's something we do not look at. We see it as another. There is something I would have said now, but that's not what we are discussing. So on a very good day, I'll talk about it. How money is spent in public office on minor things like this, and I wouldn't even call it a dinner. Call it a banquet, and that is not what the people of Nigeria need at this time.
All right, and then I'm going to also ask Ifoma the same question. The first lady has come out to announce that she is organizing, like Ugochukwu will call it, a banquet for all the senators, 109 of them, this Friday at Aso Rock. Now, we have also seen in that particular video, Senator Akpabio, you know, reading out the letter, reading out the invitation, and even going as far as saying that they must attend that banquet and honor that invitation this Friday. But there is a whole lot that has been happening in Nigeria for the past weeks. What do you have to say about the timing of that invite, Ifoma?
You know, is giving Queen Esther's vibe.
I heard that.
Yes, that's the vibe it's giving. I'm quite displeased and disappointed that this is coming from the first lady, who I think maybe is rational and I think thoughtful, rather than the person that maybe she stays with. I don't want to call names, but I was quite saddened by this nonsense I saw on social media, and I was finding it quite difficult to, you know, verify this particular news, because I was thinking maybe it's just a cooked up story, but from the video you could see clearly that this really happened. Wow, it's really beautiful to see the First Lady inviting senators or the Senate House to a sumptuous meal where I know a lot of budgets are going to go down, and you ask, whose money are they going to spend for this particular sumptuous meal? And then why does it have to come at a time where we are bedeviled by a lot of insecurity? Why is it coming by the time where people are plunged with a lot? The economy is in terrible state. People cannot go to their farms, people cannot go to school, people cannot go to church, and the only thing the First Lady could actually think about is the sumptuous meal, what is it called, a table. I think, was it one time a banquet? Yes, we'll call it a banquet. It is the height of insensitivity, and I believe every Nigerian is watching the leaders that we have, even as First Lady, that is supposed to maybe be advising the husband to, you know, against some of the policies that he has been coming up, but we are seeing maybe she is actually advising him on the policies he comes up.
You know, constitutionally, we do not have the office of the First Lady. Now, when you read that invitation letter, it says, you know, it's coming from the office of the First Lady. Now, what do you make of that unconstitutional office, right, coming out to make that invitation? And from what Senator Akpabio said himself, the Senate President, that they must attend that invitation. Do you have any thoughts on that?
First, I just want to say something so that we don't get the facts wrong. Before now, even though I cannot tell you for certain, since you've raised that concern now, I used to believe there was legally an office of the First Lady. It is something we see in many countries, even in the USA. There is an office of the First Lady. It's rather ceremonial. But since you just mentioned it now, later on I would have to confirm. But I assume that
Constitutional, there's no office of the First Lady.
Well, okay. Okay, so, but what I think it is a case of misplaced priorities. That's what it is. And the same First Lady who is now organizing this banquet once came out to tell Nigerians to contribute to build the National Library. She once came out to beg Nigerians for money for her bid. And now, where is are you sure it's not the one people contributed for the National Library that are using to, they want to dine and eat out whenever they're having that dinner?
But do you also think that this is significant with the crowd she's inviting? Now, these are supposed to be, you know, our legislators. Do you think that this is just a mere event she's trying to organize, or could this be seen as political lobbying?
There's possibility that it is political lobbying, because it is, to be honest. To be honest, we've seen a lot of that in not just in the media. We've witnessed a lot of that as a Nigerian, and we could see the justice system, the way it's been manhandled in Nigeria. So we are seeing her probably trying to buy the entire, maybe she has bought the president of the Senate House, she wants to buy the entire Senate House. And let me just put this out there. I think at this point in time, since these our legal representatives are not doing anything, they are just redundant in that office, I think it's high time that that office, that particular institution, be dissolved, to be honest, because I believe that this is the time that we need them the most. These are the times that they are supposed to be moving motions. These are the times that they are supposed to be seeking ways to probe into insecurities in Nigeria. These are the times that they ask the hard questions to the presidency on how he's going about this insecurity in Nigeria. But we see them attending banquets. So tell me, of what relevance are they to us in Nigeria? They are of no relevance to us. So I think it should be scrapped.
All right. Now, you know, I don't, that would just be a total change to governance and how we run our government. The legislative arm of government is to be scrapped completely. I'm going to ask Mr. Ugo finally on this particular story, this particular banquet, right? They have already sent out invitations. It is to hold this Friday. Do you think that this particular dinner should be made public, right? Let the media come in to say exactly what they're celebrating, the abductions or plans for how to move forward with the abductions we're seeing, or is it the economic situation? Do you just think that that particular event should be made public?
Well, if I should say honestly what I think, it is that they should not even have the event in the first place. But we cannot do anything about it. We are just Nigerians, and it's looking like they are more Nigerians than us. So things that are going there already, and you know, we are facing a security crisis. So it is indeed it should be televised for people to exactly know what they are doing there. Because what I had in my mind is, if the First Lady, she really wanted to do something, use her influence to help solve this security crisis, to show how serious you are, you go down to the Senate floor and you raise a bill. We've seen, Nigeria's case is just different. We've seen First Ladies in the past from the United States. You know, they one thing they make sure to do is to pass a bill of their own, something that would be like a legacy, an impact they've made, other than holding just a ceremonial title, First Lady. We've seen it time and time again, and in Nigeria, I can't remember for once any First Lady that lobbied for a bill and eventually passed a bill, either even in the House of Rep or was still in the Senate. We've not seen that. So what I think is that if she was serious about using her influence as First Lady to help solve this issue, it should not be in Aso Rock, in Aso Villa, with plates and wines. It should be in the Senate floor, where they are debating and proffering solutions to the insecurity issues we have in our country.
And I think that makes perfect sense. And still talking about security issues, we're seeing another senator, Senator Wamako, coming out to argue against the move to withdraw policemen from VIPs. He's saying now that it will make them easy targets if police protection is withdrawn. What do you make of that, Ifoma?
According to statistics has it that in Nigeria we have over 200,000 police officers, and more than 100,000 police officers are being attached to VIPs. So what does this mean? It means that we have less than 100,000 police officers in police stations or in their quarters. Now, what does this mean? It means that we have fewer or lesser protection for the average Nigerian. What does it mean? It means that the police are not, you wouldn't really say that they are understaffed, but they are being attached to people that doesn't even matter as a matter of fact, if I'm to say anything. And what does it mean? It means that a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people will be left unprotected, both lives and properties. This is clearly what it means. And then coming back to the full story by what this man, I don't even want to regard him as anything, to be honest, because you're withdrawing, or rather you're actually seeking that they reinstate the police, the officers that were withdrawn from VIPs, where does that leave average Nigerians? It means that we are literally nothing. It means that they are the only important ones. You see, for you to see how these people really rate us, they rate us too low. They don't care about us. They do not at all care about us, and it's so sad to be honest.
It is sad to see. Now, still talking about the VIPs and the fact that the presidency, coming from the presidency now, that there is a bid to withdraw those police officers. And we also heard updates that they are making moves to withdraw those officers from the VIPs. Let's talk about the fact that recently we saw a video from one of those terrorists who went live saying that now that they have the liberty to go anywhere they wanted to abduct people. Now they're going to target politicians, right? Do you think if we have more politicians being abducted, that there would be faster response to abductions?
Of course, of course. You know, the reason why there is this thing, people normally say that if it has not happened to you directly, you can never understand it.
Yes.
You will not understand it, and it is usual. As long as it has not happened to those politicians, they've not been victims of kidnapping.
First-hand experience.
They will never understand it. Even myself, even though I feel, you know, I feel sympathy for the victims of these kidnaps. When you experience it, you will know how it feels, even if it's your family member or anyone. So if these politicians, if they become victims, or even their close family members become victims you would see how quick they would be to react and find solutions to it. And now let me try to link what I'm saying. You mentioned about Senator Umako. First of all, I think that the people of Sokoto North, that's the senatorial district he's representing, they should recall that man back for that statement he made. That was so. How can you?
That is treason.
How can you say that? And look at what I think. Senators, they are not VIPs. They are government officials. So obviously, they are not part of the people that are drawing police protection from. So my theory. Senators are like governors, just governing a particular district, so they have police protection as well, and DSS. So what I think is that he has friends, other wealthy people, who this police protection will, it will affect, and now they are calling him. And you see how he was quick to start to raise emotion about it in the Senate Hall. That is it, because it affects him. But then we've been having the issue of insecurity. They've not talked about it for once, but now because they said about withdrawing protection, he's raising the issue.
Let me just chip this in. Let's use this theory, right? According to the law, everybody is equal. You get everybody. There is no inequality to the law. Everybody is equal to the law. So I think let's apply that particular school of thought and that particular theory to every citizen living in Nigeria, without an exception, including the VIPs. Because if people are equal, these people are going to be feeling the heat of insecurities because of the fact that their families are heavily protected by security personnel. You understand?
Policemen that should be protecting the average Nigerian.
The average person. Imagine a situation whereby about maybe 100 to 200 policemen are deployed to maybe this Nasarawa state or Benue state, a particular community. Do you think that this whole insecurity thing or news, we are going to be talking about it by now?
It should drastically reduce.
It's because of the fact that these people are handbags. Police are being used as tools. They are not really doing what they are supposed to do as protectors. For me, I feel like these people are a set of predators, including the VIPs and the police. They are just predators. And I think that law, you see that particular law, that's a statement that the presidency made of that withdrawal. I think it should stand. If he does that, I promise you that he's going to be one of the best president Nigeria ever had.
All right. Now, we're still talking about security. We are seeing now that a former Joint Task Force commander has come out to say that saving lives is more important than punishing criminals and people responsible for these abductions. He made this statement, and lots of people have different opinions to that. But I want to get your opinion, Mr. Ugochukwu.
You cannot be saying things like that to members of the public. I think some of these government officials, they are not. think they don't know the sensitivity of some of the information they release to the public. I don't think because how can you be saying things like that? In fact, they are stabbing this present administration. The other day, Bayo Ononuga came out to make careless remarks on national television. And that is the same thing we are hearing from this officer. How can you come out and say, I understand the message he's trying to pass out, but, you know, for every action they say is an equal reaction. I think what prompted this response is what people are saying about the people that are rescued. So that is not the best response to this matter. It is a sensitive issue, things about security. There is no way you tell people to separate their emotions or sentiments from it. This issue is highly emotional because they are human beings. So as long as they are humans, emotion comes in. I understand the message he's trying to pass, which I do not completely agree with. But I've said it time and time again that life is, so it should be the priority. It's precious. Yeah. But sorry, I'm not done. But for him to come out and now indirectly defend the fact that they are not holding accountable the people who are doing this, predators of all this insecurity we are having in Nigeria, it is so insensitive of them to come and push all these narratives. Why then did they prosecute Nnamdi Kanu or continue to use him as an example here as long as the Nigerian government do not do the right thing?
All right. Now, also coming to you, Informa, let's have your take exactly on that particular comment that he made. Do you think that it's saving lives or rescuing those girls is more important than actually prosecuting the perpetrators of that crime?
You know, I talking about Nigeria don't seem to amaze me and amuse me. And to be honest, it is, I said it in the afternoon, that it is quite saddening that we've seen Nigeria deteriorating in our eyes, like before our eyes, and it is so sad. Now, yes, we understand the fact that you're supposed to maybe in a way try to negotiate with these people so that you don't end up escalating the matter, or rather making it more fatal for people maybe to die in the process, the people that you're trying to rescue to die in the process. But at the same time, these are the same bandits that attack villages. These are the same bandits, these are the same terrorists that killed a brigadier, which up till now I have not seen action by the militants about the death, his death. But these are the same terrorists that make videos online telling us, oh, you people are complaining about the KB abduction. Since you people know where they are, come and get them. What happens to tracking these people down? Okay, we agree to the fact that, oh, you don't want the situation to go chaotic. Okay, you've rescued them. What are the necessary actions that you're supposed to take? We're not hearing any necessary action. The only thing you're telling us, hey, there are ways we do these things. Shey Ebwetokun has come out to say, we don't arrest them, we negotiate with them. Are you negotiating with somebody that has taken a lot of lives? Are you negotiating? Is really, to be honest, it's really frustrating and depressing that people go into pain every single day. As I'm talking to you right now, there's a video I saw a few minutes ago about a parent, just a woman, she traveled. Coming back to meet her family, she discovered that her family, her 5 children, her husband has been murdered gruesomely. This is what a policeman, this is what a militant is telling you. Seriously, it's quite sad, to be honest.
It is appalling to hear. And also there is a trending video where we're seeing a terrorist as well coming out to both with the heavy schoolgirl situation, that those girls were negotiated for and that the Nigerian government paid a ransom for them, even though they have come out to tell us that they did not. Well, at the end of the day, we are going to understand what exactly went on with the Kebbi school attack and how the government has been going about all of these rescue missions. But for now, this is where we're going to call it a wrap on the show. If you're watching for the first time, this is Active Citizens Parliament, and I say a big thank you to my guest on the show, Ugochukwu Akuba and Ifoma Oji. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please endeavor to do so. And follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. You can find me across all media as well at Sharon Enechukwu and Judy from.
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Mr. Lex.
Mr. Ugochukwu.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Ugochukwu Afuba.
All right, so we'll come your way tomorrow. Do have a good evening.